Hey, dude, YouTube, it's Will from Mill Development. This is my 443rd weekly update. Gonna be a quick one. Ended up being kind of a late night and a bit of a long day for me, but really productive and good day, though. Training this week has been pretty good. Had to dial some stuff back just because of all the things going on in real life. And it's been paying off, just sort of towing that line a little bit and just sort of doing I don't want to say the bare minimum, but that's kind of what it feels like I've been doing. Uh, and I mean, that being said, it's not like I'm not getting anywhere. I'm not spinning my wheels going nowhere, but it definitely has been sort of one of those, let's get the least effective dose done, you know, every single day. And that's sort of how it's just been. Um, got the injectors in for the truck on Tuesday. So spent part of Tuesday starting to tear that apart. And basically from Tuesday till today, have been putting a few hours into the truck every day. Which, on that life note, the great news is uh, the truck is probably running better than it maybe ever has since I have owned it. And part of the reason might be because a lot of the spark plug gaps were not um, good. Part of that's my fault. But I have a sneaking suspicion it was like that when I got it because it ran exactly the same after I changed the spark plugs myself the first time, some 60,000 miles ago, and it ran exactly the same after I did that. So I'm starting to kind of think the last person who did it before me also didn't bother to recheck the gaps before they installed the new spark plug. Something you should do. They don't have to be 100% perfect, but at least if they're all within the same range, uh, it'll at least get your engine to run a little bit smoother. Which got the new injectors, basically confirmed what I thought, which was the injector was bad on cylinder 3, which was 100% right because when I pulled out the spark plug, smelled no gas on it, which means basically what that confirms is that you're not getting gas, but you're probably still getting spark. The only other way to confirm that would be to take the spark plug out, plug it in, and then turn over the engine, and you can actually see it arcing to some sort of metal. But I didn't need to do that because I already had a sneaking suspicion it was just a bad injector. Because again, 205,000 miles on the truck. If the injectors lasted much longer, I'd probably be a little more confused than impressed. So she's running beautiful. That's one big stressful thing off my mind. Again, took all week of working an hour here, an hour there. Um, just simple little shit to take off. It's just such a pain. But reminds me once again why I did not get into or stay in mechanics as a profession. Um, but yeah, training this week, Monday went quite well. I went actually a little bit heavier on squats this week. And I don't know if I've talked about it, but I'm exclusively doing front squats as a main squat movement. And got crazy goals with that. And it went well on Monday. Did a little bit of accessory work to go with it, as much as I could sort of muster. Tuesday pressing, I could just tell with the way my body felt that I was not going to be able to do much cleaning and pressing. So rather than doing log at all, I actually did what I would consider a slightly more challenging press variation in some regards. I mean, every single variation of press has its own challenges, but I just did barbell out of a rack, which meant I could go a little bit heavier, but it also means it's free spinning plates, which sometimes adds a bit of a challenge, and also gives me the opportunity to work on my front rack position with a barbell instead of just with an axle as I normally would. And it ended up going very well. Actually, I was able to do like triples with like 90%, which is crazy good. I'm very happy with that outcome. Wednesday was off. Thursday, yesterday, just some basic it touched everything between the back, biceps, glutes, and hamstrings, except for an actual deadlift. And went pretty heavy on my RDLs too, which I was very happy about. Um, I'd like to be able to RDL like 400. I think that'd be cool if I could do that for reps. I think if I could do that for reps, I'd be somewhere. I'd be somebody. Um, and then tonight, I walked in and I said, I want to hit my 95% for a single on axle clean and press. For no reason other than I just wanted to. I felt the need and I felt like I'd sort of ramped it up well enough to do so. I had hit like 87.5% for like a double last week, I think. And I was like, I really just want to hit 90%. And, I walked in not feeling so great. I actually missed it twice. Um, First attempt at the clean didn't even work. Just couldn't even really get it past my hip. Second one got it off the hips well, and it landed just a little low on my stomach. And I don't practice belt cleaning, so I'm not saying I don't know how to do it. I'm not good enough at it to just jump in with like 90% and do it. Um, and that one actually really hurt because it slid a little low, pinched, and I was able to kind of bump it, but I caught it on my chest instead of up in the rack position, and it ended up really hurting my chest and my stomach because it just slid right down, and that hurt. And then on the third one, finally got the clean. Really good actually. Right when it was in my shoulder, my hands up on my shoulders, it felt great. It didn't feel like it was heavy. And right when I went for the press, I got stuck right here, and I could see the bar and how close I was, now or all that. And I just thought in my head, it's one of those things that probably took 5 seconds in real life to happen, if that, maybe like 3 seconds. But in my head, it's taking 20 minutes. And the whole time I'm stuck right here, which felt like forever. I just said, you're not going to be able to clean this again, and you don't want to clean it again. So you better just sit here and just die and just press this weight and make it happen. And I finally did on the third attempt. So it was a very good ending to a week. Success with the truck, success with the lifts, and now I just got to get the electricity in my house sorted out, and then I'll be a perfectly happy camper and get right back to planning a bunch of other stuff. So yeah, I guess the lesson this week is sometimes it starts out rough, but it doesn't mean you can't finish strong. And you should always try to finish strong. And if you don't, then what's your excuse?